So, Paul, you got the right day, but the wrong time. Okay, everybody's coming on. I see Karma there, Karen, Lenny, Darcy. Good. Okay, Carla. So today is September 5th, not August 5th. And sorry for the confusion. And of course, none of us picked that up. So there's some of you that think this is supposed to be August 5th are going to have to watch the recording instead of being live. But let me go through the agenda here. It's going to be 60 minutes. We're going to start with some inspiration from Steve Jobs. Then we're going to review last meeting. We're going to go through the why, how, what messaging. I'm going to show you some examples of that and the why, how, what script. I'm going to show you some examples of how we use our why messaging in some radio spots that I'm going to play for you so you can hear how we're using it. And then I'll give you the homework and we'll talk about what's next. So let's start with Steve Jobs' Rules of Success. Some of you may have seen this, but I think you'll find it very appropriate to what we've been doing. I'm going to play this right. I'm going to get myself out of here. And then I'll play it for you. Turn up your volume.
People say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true. And the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard, and you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it, you don't really love it, you're going to give up. And that's what happens to most people, actually. If you really look at the ones that ended up, being successful, unquote, in the eyes of society, and the ones that didn't, oftentimes it's the ones that are successful loved what they did so they could persevere when it got really tough. And the ones that didn't love it quit because they're sane. Right? Who would want to put up with this stuff if you don't love it? So it's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of worrying constantly. And if you don't love it, you're going to fail. So you got to love it. You got to have passion. And I think that's the high order bit. The second thing is you've got to be a really good talent scout, because no matter how smart you are, you need a team of great people, and you've got to figure out how to size people up fairly quickly, make decisions without knowing people too well, and hire them, and see how you do, and refine your intuition, and be able to help build an organization that can eventually just build itself, because you need great people around you.
Was that echoing for everybody? Hit me up in the chat room there. Tell me if everybody had echo on that, because I'll play it again, but I had both my computers on here, and I thought yes, it was echoing for you too, Darcy. Huh. Let me try this again and see if it was because I had both of my computers on, but we'll give it one more shot. I'll turn my built-in microphone off. Let me know if this is better.
People say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true. And the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard, and you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it, and you don't really love it, you're going to give up. And that's what happens to most people, actually. If you really look at the ones that ended up being successful, unquote, in the eyes of society, and the ones that didn't, oftentimes it's the ones that are successful loved what they did so they could persevere when it got really tough. And the ones that didn't love it quit because they're sane. right? Who would want to put up with this stuff if you don't love it? So it's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of worrying constantly. And if you don't love it, you're going to fail. So you got to love it. You got to have passion. And I think that's the high order bit. The second thing is you've got to be a really good talent scout, because no matter how smart you are, you need a team of great people, and you've got to figure out how to size people up fairly quickly, make decisions without knowing people too well, and hire them, and see how you do and refine your intuition, and be able to help build an organization that can eventually just build itself, because you need great people around you.
Better? Sounds like everybody could hear that. I mean, obviously the important thing to take away there is that you've got to have passion. And we've talked about this. This has been something that we've talked about from the beginning, about, how to have passion. Well, where does passion come from? And that you've got to have passion, because passion is the fuel that gives you the energy to pursue your dreams and to pursue your vision. And you got to hang in there. And that's where you need to enjoy what you're doing. How many of us are insane? We keep doing the same thing over and over and not getting any results. That's what this is all about. And there's some of you that are going to hang in there and get to the results and get to that promised land. And there's some of you that are not going to do it, that are just going to say, that's too tough for me. I'm just not going to deal with this. I'm going to forget about it. And then there's others of you that know this is what you want, and know that you don't want to be the ones that do it, and you want somebody else to do it. And so, like Lenny has done, we do create all this for you if that's something you want. If you know it's what you want, but you don't want to do it, which is also sane, then we can do that for you. And we talk about that later. But we've talked about how passion, when what you do is in line with why you do what you do and how you want to express it, then you'll have passion for what you do. And the other interesting thing that I've learned through this process of doing so many whys is that you find that once you know your why, what you do, you see what you do differently. You see what you do through the eyes of your why, or through the perspective of your why. For example, at lunch today, I had lunch with this patient of mine. Her name is Carla, and she is a very inspiring lady. She's very motivated. She's typically very successful in whatever she chooses to do, but she's been lost for a little while. She just feels like she doesn't know what it is she wants to do. She knows she can do anything, but she doesn't know what it is she wants to do. And right now, what she does is she sells she sells lighting, really unique types of lighting for office space. And so I went to lunch with her, and we figured out her why. Her why was actually my same why, which is to find a better way and then share it. And her way of saying to find a better way was she helps people stand out. She feels that success comes when you stand out from the crowd, when you are different. And so she's always looked at her job as just selling lighting. But when we really started to dig deep into what it was she was doing, she was actually helping people make their businesses more inviting and more special and more attractive through the lighting that she sells. So she takes office space and makes it something special by changing the lighting. And so now she sees her job and her business totally differently than just selling lighting. She sees it through the eyes of and through the perspective of her why. So it created, I mean, it was interesting to see her at the beginning of our lunch, just kind of down and just not excited, and what am I doing, and where's my life going, and then by the time we were done, how much clarity she had, and then how much passion she had for what it was she was really doing. She saw that her what was just a manifestation of her why, and that it was in line with why she does what she does and how she wants to express it. So it fit her really, really well. And just knowing that created so much passion for her. And that's what we did with all of you at the beginning. That's why we started with your why, so that you could see what you're doing through the perspective of your why, whether it was contributing to a greater cause or helping people by creating relationships based upon trust, or whatever your why was. You're able to see now what you do through this perspective of your why, which gives you passion for what it is you do, so that you have that energy to stick in there, to hang in there as we go through the rest of this process. So many of you have done that, and that's really interesting for me to hear Steve Jobs say that, because I believe exactly the same thing, and he's right. I guess I don't need to tell him he's right, because he's always seems to be right. So anyways, hope that makes sense, and I really want you guys to just hang in there through the rest of all of this, so that you get to the price, you get to the results that you're wanting to get for your practice. So last meeting, what we did is we covered your avatar, demographics, psychographics, and the story. We went through the avatar hot buttons, what it is they want. We went through the matching wants with solutions form, so that you can find out what those benefits are, so we can find out what the single greatest benefit is that you give to your ideal client. We created your USP, and we did your elevator pitch. And so I'm going to go through an example in just a minute of Barry's, but I don't think Barry is here with us tonight. Barry Franzen example. So he sent me all of his sheets, and I wanted to go through these with you, so I can take you through his process and what he was thinking, and then you'll see what his USP came out to be. So Barry sent his avatar demographics. He says he's looking for a male or female, 45 plus, married or single, with 100,000 plus income. Education, he said it didn't matter. Job and profession, he says it didn't matter. And in the Wisconsin, Tri-County, Wisconsin area. Oh, my glasses. This becoming 50 years old is getting frustrating when you can't see anything. There we go. All right. Hey, now I can see. So he wants the baby boomer attitude, doesn't want somebody who doesn't want dentures, where the kids are out of the house for the first time, that they're done taking care of everyone else. Now they're focusing in on themselves. They have 1 or 2 missing teeth, maybe a partial or a denture. They have large fillings from childhood. They don't want to end up like their mom or dad ended up. And they're working, and they're earning, I guess it says working out, and living better. So that's who he has for his avatar demographics. For their psychographics, he says that they want to not look old. This is the list he came up with. I want a tooth replacement that doesn't come in or out. I want to avoid what my parents went through. I want a positive experience in an office that I can trust. I want the best team for the job. I want to be involved in the decision making. I want a long-standing solution. And I want to be treated like I'm special. So that's those are the psychographics of his ideal client. That's what they want. So then he went back and he took the top 3. I guess he has 4, 2 number ones. He picked as the number 1, I want a tooth replacement that doesn't come in and out, and I want to avoid what my parents went through. Secondly, he says I want a positive experience in an office I can trust. And the third is I want to be treated like I'm special. Okay. Now, unfortunately, this came out sideways, so you're either going to have to turn your computer on the side, or I'll read them to you. So he says it's his hot buttons. For I want a non-removable tooth replacement and avoid what my parents went through. What they're really saying is, I don't ever want dentures. I don't want my teeth ground down. And their current solution is that they offer implants for missing teeth, surgical restoration, and replacement of teeth. Okay? The innovation is what they could do to meet or exceed their ideal client's want is they could post technology updates that they use on Facebook. We could, and on the web, they could use a digital coffee table book where they show their before and after pictures. And if they did that, what would the benefits be? So the benefit would be safe, predictable, simple solution to missing teeth. So they would feel safe and they would feel like they're getting a predictable solution to their missing teeth. Okay, that seems reasonable. On their hot button of, I want a positive experience in an office I can trust, what they're really saying is I've had previous bad experiences at the dentist, and my former dentist should have sent me to a specialist. Okay? So the current solution is they have an I Promise video, they have a low volume practice, they have the same faces every time, so they have a predictable staff or consistent staff. Yeah, and they have a knowledgeable staff. Okay, so what they could do, the innovations they could do would be they could add lecture schedules to the web. They could update patient testimonials on web and Facebook. They could take the doc course for conscious sedation. And if they did that, how would that make the patient feel? That would make them feel confident that they've made the right choice. Okay? And on the last hot button, the I want to be treated like I'm special, what they're really saying is, I know I have problems, but I don't want to be treated like I would at a clinic. The current solution is we lay out a PowerPoint treatment planning session in a non-threatening environment. So they go through the digital co-diagnosis. Okay, so what we could do is we could have a handwritten thank you card after the initial visit, and we could have monthly patient giveaways. I wish we had Barry here. I didn't know he wasn't going to be here, so he could go into a little bit more detail on this. He probably thinks it's on August 5th. But if they did those things, how would the patient feel? The patient would feel empowered because they have complete understanding of the treatment proposed. Okay. So then what they did, any questions on any of these? What I would like to see Barry do is I would like to see him be a little bit more detailed in the innovation. When you work on your innovations, and Paul, you were doing this today. When you work on and Michael, I don't know where you're at as far as with your process, but when you're working on your innovations, think as though you have no budget. You don't have to. It's a brainstorming session. You don't have to do what you say you're going to do with the innovations, but it's a way for your team to think outside of the box. And so, if money was no object, what would we do to meet and exceed that want of our clients so they have nowhere else they can go but to us? So we're the only ones that have this solution. That's the kind of conversation you want to have with your team. So not necessarily just basic solutions that are innovations that you can easily do, but just something crazy and unique. Remember I told you about the guy who had the pediatric practice, who rented the limousines to go pick up the kids to bring them to their appointments, and he had the big, Dr. So-and-so on the side of it, so he got a lot of good publicity, and that was a way out of the box kind of a thought, but then it ended up being a reality, and it ended up being very profitable for him. So I want you to come up with the same kind of innovations, something that's outside the box. But that's what Barry came up with. And so then he says the benefits, so the list of benefits would be confidence. They would feel confident. They would feel empowered. And when you're doing this sheet, Paul, use the fill it out as an they would feel statement. And I guess I should add that to our single greatest benefit sheet. But what I would like to have it read would be, they would feel confident. They would feel empowered. They would feel that they're at a single setting solution practice. They would feel that they're getting cutting edge technology. They would feel safe, that they're in a safe and predictable, that they would have a safe, predictable solution. They would feel that we have a knowledgeable staff. And so of those benefits that Barry came up with, he felt that the single greatest benefit that his practice offers to the ideal client is empowerment. And so then he's going to use that as he goes through. So any questions? You finally figured that out, huh? So the more detail you put into this, the more work you put into this, the more thought you put into this, the more you're going to get out of it. And what's so valuable about this particular form, when it's not sideways, is that people don't buy features and benefit, or features and they don't buy features and advantages. They buy benefits. People don't buy houses. They buy what the house will do for them, how the house will make them feel. They don't buy the sports car because they need a new car. They buy how that sports car will make them feel. And so the only way to figure out how that will make them feel is by listing those benefits. So for us as well, as Carla just pointed out, it took us a few tries at this. And it'll probably take you a few tries at it. You'll go through it and you'll just kind of halfway do it, and then you'll realize, man, if we just put a little bit more effort into this, we'll get some really good stuff out of this. Because much of the messaging that you're going to use comes from this matching wants with solutions form. So the better you do it, the better the material you're going to have for creating a USP, for creating the messaging that you're going to need. So Barry then went into his elevator pitch. So he says, you know how people stress when they lose a tooth or have a partial or denture that is uncomfortable? Well, what we do is offer a safe, predictable solution to eliminate those concerns. So that's a pretty good start. Something I want to help you, what I want you to think about when you're doing your elevator pitch is you want to be a little bit more broad to the problem that they're facing. So in this situation, he says, you know how people stress when they lose a tooth or have a partial or denture that is uncomfortable. So if you were in an elevator and you said that, that person may not really get it if they've never lost a tooth or if they don't have a partial or a denture. So you want to be a little bit more broad. You know, something more like, you know how people stress when they're having tooth problems, whether it's a toothache or problems with their relatives. No, you know how people stress when they have to deal with the loss of a tooth. See, that's even too narrow. But it would be something more like, and feel free in the chat area if you want to throw out some of your thoughts as we're going along this. But you know how people stress, like for example, my elevator pitches. You know how people get totally stressed out at even the thought of going to the dentist? Well, what we do is offer a pain-free, or we promise a pain-free experience that will alleviate their stress and allow them to get the smile they've always wanted. And so he could actually use something very similar. You know how people get totally stressed out at even the thought of getting their teeth fixed? Well, what we do is offer a safe, predictable solution that eliminates that stress so they can get the smile they've always wanted. I think, Paul, I think his why was to contribute to a greater cause. I don't have it down here with me, but I'm pretty sure his why was to contribute to a greater cause. And so then he went into his USP. So he listed all of his benefits: confidence, empowerment, single something solution, cutting edge technology, safe, predictable solutions, knowledgeable staff. So then he picked out of those list of benefits, the top three, which were confidence, empowerment, safe, predictable solution. That's really good, Carla. Are all of you over on the chat area? If you're not, click on the little chat tab, or the one all the way to the left, and then go to the chat section. So Carla says, you know how people miss out in life because they are afraid or embarrassed of their appearance? Yeah, lacking confidence, avoiding social settings. Yeah, those are really good. We can help. I wish I knew his why, Paul. I'm not sure if it's. I'm pretty sure it's contributing to a greater cause or creating relationships based upon trust. I don't remember. So, are you asking, should the elevator pitch contain his why? It definitely could in the solution. It definitely could. So he picked as the top three benefits: confidence, empowerment, safe, predictable solutions. And from there, he developed his USP. Hang it. And get back to it. He developed his USP as a benefit. Love your smile, love your life. I think that's actually really a good USP. I'm not quite sure how he got there from the top three benefits, but I do like that USP. Love your smile, love your life. That's really good. We need Barry on here to tell us about it. Barry, are you? No, I don't see you. So that was the process. Paul, you're just now going through it. I'm gonna see if I can.
Hey, Gary.
Hey, Paul, tell me a little bit about how this has gone for you. Because how far did you get through this today?
We've been going through the benefits thing, and I think they were getting hung up on the benefits. You kept being, well, they'll be healthier, or they'll have whiter teeth, or a prettier smile, and it's like, well, yes, but we finally, how will they feel if they're healthier? How will they feel if? And so finally, I think they got that. And so I was asking about my why. My why is building relationships built on trust, and so I was thinking that somehow this has to come back to we're the practice that you can trust. I'm the dentist that you can trust, and that's why I'm not sure. I mean, should that be part of this, or is that separate?
It could be.
Yeah.
You're talking about for the elevator pitch?
Yeah.
Tell me about, did you guys get to this part yet? Okay, so tell me about your ideal client. Tell me about your avatar.
Basically 45-year-old, 65-year-old, educated female, 75,000 plus a year in income. A lot of them are going to be, basically women getting ready to retire, or the kids are out of the home, and they just want to finally, they've been putting it off for years. They want to take care of it.
So what is their main, what is it they want?
There's I think a couple different. So we had, one is the, it's my turn kind of thing. The others are just are hopeless. I mean, like you're a sedation type patient. They're just afraid of the dentist. They really have no hope. They just feel it. Eventually their teeth are just going to fall out, and, so they have no hope, don't know where to go. So I think those are the two main classes that we had.
So the main, and who do you want to attract? The fearful patient?
Well, I just went through the IV sedation course at Duquesne, so we're going to be incorporating sedation into the practice. Right now I have to bring in an anesthesiologist to do that in Pennsylvania. Yeah, probably another month before I'm have everything equipped, and I have to have my office inspected by the state. And Pennsylvania's pretty strict.
Okay, so what is it? What is their biggest problem? Their biggest challenge? What is it they're facing that keeps them from coming in to see you?
Well, I mean, that's kind of, we went back and forth. So one is that sedation class, which we have not really appealed to, because there's other guys in my town who are doing sedation, and it's just not a market we've gotten into. The others are more just the patients that have just been putting it off, and the kids are gone, and now they want to do stuff. So that's really been my niche in doing some implants, for those patients. But we want more of them. We're not getting enough of them.
So when you go to your elevator pitch and you say, what would you say would be the problem? Is it more that how people get totally stressed out at just the thought of going to the dentist? Or is it how people have put their life on hold while taking care of their kids, and now it's their turn? What would be more?
Well, you and I, because my internet service provider, my website guy, wants me to put up multiple sites, and so he was saying you should have this one niche. So I'm really looking at two niches. One being that sedation type patient, the other niche being that person has put it off and just doesn't really know who the right person to go. I've put this off for so long now, I just don't know who the right person is, because if I'm going to do it, I want it done right. I don't want I want someone who knows what they're doing. So,
and that's where
I think I make. Right. Right.
So how?
And also, the sedation is going to be trust too, because now you got patients that are afraid, and they want someone that they can trust. So I think the trust is going to work with both. I just think they're going to be slightly different ad campaigns for each market.
Correct. So in your case, your elevator pitch could be something like, how there's so many people that are not able to be who they're meant to be because they're being held back by their teeth, and they just don't know who to go to. They just can't find anyone they can trust.
Yep.
Well, what we do is, and that should come from your how. How you let people know you create relationships based upon trust.
Yeah, I had a little light bulb go off today. I had a patient that's got an issue. He's an older guy, like in his late 60s, and he's got a wisdom tooth that's been impacted, finally bothering him. And so we were talking about which different surgeons we could send him to, and he just said to me, I don't care where he is, who's the best? That's all I wanted to know, who's the best? And that's like, boy, and then the name popped right in my head who it would be, and that's, I want to be, when people think who's the best, that's where I want people to think. So,
and how does he gauge,
I think that's,
how did you gauge who was the best?
They mostly patient feedback, his communication with me, patient feedback, Yeah, that's it mostly.
And results you've seen.
Yeah, exactly.
And how do you determine whether, let's say you're looking for somebody to come do your carpet. How do you determine who is the best?
Referrals. You're talking to people who I know have done similar work in their office or their home. Call them, who'd you use, how they work for you.
But when you think about people that are the best, a lot of that, I'm sure, from your perspective and from your why, comes from people you can trust.
Yeah.
That's what it means, kind of. I know I can trust this guy.
Right.
So the better able you are to articulate that message, you can be trusted, that you feel successful when you create relationships based upon trust. That trust is a big thing for you. You will attract people that believe the same thing you believe. Not that they have your same why, but that they believe that the best means you can trust them. So the better, so as long as you're able to equate the two, then people will see it that way, like you do.
Right.
So that's the messaging you want to be developing as you're going along. It does have to be around trust. Because to you, if I can trust you, and I know you're going to do a great job, you are the best. I mean, that's the same thing pretty much, right?
Right. Yep.
So that's really going to be critical for you to develop that messaging as you go along. Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, I guess that was my question. That should be part of his, if it's trust or it's, shouldn't that be part of your elevator speech? I mean, it's somewhere in there.
Well,
in that solution. This is
the purpose of your elevator pitch is to get the person that you just said this to say, "Oh, really? Well, how do you do that?" That's when you can go into more about your trust.
Okay.
That's when you can tell them what you believe and why you do what you do. You can tell them much more about it after that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to keep moving. So we went through the USP, love your smile, love your life, which actually I think would work very well. And I wish Barry was here. We could discuss it more. So your why messaging. Why do you need why messaging? What do you do with this why messaging? That's what we've been talking about. Because the purpose of your why, how, what messaging is to distinguish your business from the competition. Your competition they're all talking about their what's, what they have, their new CAD/CAM machine, their new laser, their new whatever. Doesn't really matter because there's always something new. So if you get into that game of talking about your what's, then you're always stuck in the one-upmanship thing. You want to develop your why messaging so that you don't have to be in that. So you can distinguish your business from your competition based on your why, like we were just talking about. And then you need the why messaging to attract your ideal customer so that you speak to the reticular activating system of that ideal client so they know you're the one for them. It's also to create consistency in your marketing materials so that you're saying the same thing and to convey your message on numerous marketing channels. That's what the whole why network is about. It's about spreading your why through, well, I think it's right here. It's about spreading your why and your messaging through all these different channels. So you're not just focused in on Google. Paul, your web guy is probably having you focused mainly on Google. And years ago, that could be done. And that's what I did. I had everything based upon the Google search engine. But it is so complicated now, and there's so many changes, and you sure hate to put all your eggs in that one basket because it's bound to change on you, and when it does, then everything goes down the drain. All this time and energy that you put working on this, Google changes the algorithm and poof, it's gone for you. And you kind of freak out. So you need to have all these other why marketing channels working for you. That's what we do. That's what we're doing for Lenny, is we're creating his messaging and pushing it out through Facebook, through LinkedIn, through all these different channels, and linking them together so that one piece of material can be used on multiple channels. And it builds this whole network that doesn't just focus in on Google, doesn't just focus in on Facebook. It focuses on many different channels, the ones that are appropriate for your practice. So what are the components of why messaging? The why messaging components you need your USP or your tagline, you need your headlines, you need quotes, you need belief statements, you need your avatar hot button phrases. I'm going to go through an example here so you'll see what I mean. You're going to need your elevator pitch or script, and you're going to need your why video script. And so Lenny, you're here, and I'm going to go back through yours. I know your script changed, so I think I have the updated script on here. You want to create creating your how, why, how, what messaging. So you need to know your why, you need to know your hows, you need to know your what, you need your avatar's wants, your vision, and your belief statements. And we use all of those to create the messaging, which is what we've done or in the process of doing with Lenny. So Lenny's why, how, and what. Lenny, your why, to challenge the status quo. And as you recall, when you and I did it together, we didn't get it right the first time. So you didn't get the warm and fuzzies. You didn't get the hair sticking up on the back of your neck. And you will. When you know your why, it'll just be you. I mean, it'll just make sense to you. You'll just see your life clearly through that why. And, that's why I did this. That makes so much sense to me. And that's, so your why was to challenge the status quo. For you, all messaging starts with the concept of imagine. Imagine the possibility. Imagine how to think differently. Your why is the same as Apple's why, same as Steve Jobs' why. So it's a very powerful why. How you do it is by creating integrity, by working through compassion, by creating relationships based upon trust, by creating understanding, by creating innovative solutions, by growth and learning and always improving yourself. That's how you show people that you want to challenge the status quo. That's how you want to show people that you want to think differently, that you want to give them possibilities, that you want them to see things that maybe they haven't ever seen before. What you are is a reconstructive dentist, reconstructive dentistry, periopros, and implants. You also do general dentistry, but what you are is also a father, you're also a husband, there's all kinds of other things that you are that where you manifest your why through. Everything you do, Lenny, you manifest your why. You show that you want to challenge the status quo. So Lenny's avatar, hot buttons and wants. Okay, Lenny's avatars, hot buttons and wants. So your avatar is embarrassed of their smile. They want to look better. They're frustrated because they feel they're not being heard. So they want a compassionate dentist who will listen. They feel that no one understands them. So they want someone, they want to be understood. They feel invalidated. So they want to be able to feel validated, like they're not crazy, like they feel the way that, like their feelings are being heard. They are scared of the dentist because they've had bad experiences with previous dentists. So they want a dentist he or she can trust. And they're ready for change. They want a better smile, they want better health, and they want a better life. So that's the avatars and hot buttons. That's the avatars, hot buttons, and wants. So Lenny's avatar hot button headlines would be something like, are you embarrassed of your smile? Do you want to look better? Are you frustrated because you feel like you're not being heard? Do you feel no one understands your wants and needs when it comes to your mouth? Do you feel invalidated? Are you scared of the dentist or of having your teeth drilled? Are you ready for a change, a better you? Do you want a better smile, better health, and a better life? I mean, those just speak right to the heart of your avatar. I'm sure when they read those, they're just like, gosh, this guy gets me. He's listened to me. I'm being heard. This is what I'm looking for. I'm so glad I found Lenny. Those are the conversations that are going to be going on in their head as soon when they read those headlines. So Lenny's belief statements go like this. We believe everyone wants to look better, be healthy, and live a better life. We're committed to helping you imagine and achieve the results that you're looking for. We believe in being catalysts for change to help you achieve the health and life that you want and deserve. I believe there's possibility in everything, no matter how bleak the situation may seem. I believe that instead of asking why, ask why not. Just imagine. So I'm sure, Lenny, those speak to you. See if I can get you on here. Back in the shower, huh?
Let me get
You get the game on again?
Oh, okay. No, I'm not watching this time.
So when you hear that, does that speak to you?
I feel like I wrote it. In fact, I probably said it to whomever I was speaking at the time, and they kind of write down fast and record it, it's almost
just
like
for everybody else, when Lenny works with our team, we have a copywriter on the call with them so that she can be writing this stuff down as they're talking. So that's where all this comes from, because it comes from your voice. And so Lenny's practice vision, it would go something like, imagine a practice where your patients come to you because they've heard about you, your competency, integrity, and compassion. They know that you get them. They feel understood and valued. They trust that you can help them solve the challenges that they face. They know that you hold the highest vision of what's possible for them, and that you're committed to helping them achieve whatever is important to them. With your help and expertise, your patients achieve a better reality for themselves. Better teeth, better health, better life. I mean, I like that. Better teeth, better health, better life. How does that feel to you?
Feels great. I kind of created it, but or at least I felt like I created it. But it came out of lots of questions, and we spent a lot of time. I mean, I was impressed by how much time they spent with me.
Well, Coca-Cola spent, I think, $40 million figuring out their tagline. So you got off pretty easy. So Lenny's believe headlines and quotes. We believe in possibility, the possibility of a better, healthier you. We believe everyone wants to look better, be healthy, and live a better life. We're committed to helping you achieve what you've been looking for. And that's just right on the money. Open your eyes to the world of possibility. It's time for you. Don't delay the life you deserve. All of that will speak right to them, because those are all the things that they're looking for. So Paul, are you seeing how this is coming together? Because this is the next kind of step that you're going to be taking. And Michael, I wish I knew where you were at, but we can talk a bit about it. I know you're on the golf course a lot, but I'm not sure about where you're at here. So that's why I sent you the headline vault, Paul and Michael. This headline vault you got in the last email. These are all the headlines that you can take from and see and change them around to have them fit your practice, which is what I did. So if you go look at my website, you'll see a lot of these headlines there, because that's how you use them to create the messaging. So Paul, whoever's doing your websites, you can have them look at this headline vault, and maybe they can help you out with this. So those were all the headline vault. So Lenny's why, how, what combinations. These are some possibilities. And you went through the, so you went, we created these for you, and then you looked at which ones you liked the best. Is that how you did this? Or have you seen this, or was this behind the scenes?
I'm trying to think right now. This imagine the possibility. Like some of these came back to me. We spent a lot of time, you know, interviewing, questioning, you know, hashing out lots of different. Well, especially when we worked on our why. I mean, she really asked me the same questions a number of different ways. And then very shortly after we were done with each session, I got back things that looked like this, like pages of that. And, you know, and I would just basically say, yeah, this is it, or that's not quite it. But I don't quite feel this is right, but I feel this is the direction I want to head. And then I just honed it down, and it was remarkably fast.
Yeah. So,
you know,
so
because I'm not doing all the work, I guess. You know?
Yeah, it's a lot easier when you're not doing all the work. So then we take that and create your messaging. There we go. Village Dental of New England. Imagine the possibilities. Better health, better teeth, better health, better life. Awesome. We believe everyone wants to look better, to be healthy, and live a better life. We're committed to helping you achieve whatever you've been looking for. Dr. Lenny DePaul. Say your last name for me so I say it right.
DiPaolo.
Okay.
DiPaolo. Yeah.
I have a buddy
so,
here.
as you probably know,
I'm sorry.
like I work with a coach also, so that I even find myself using my in-case presentation. I'm helping them discover. I'm helping them imagine. You know, can you understand what, you know, I'm showing them the difference between things, and can you see how this could look better, or could you see, just my language has started to evolve a little bit, you know, the more I focus on it.
And for your whole team, it'll turn out that way, because they're going to see the vision of your practice and the USP of your practice. You know, they can talk now to patients about having better teeth to have better health, to have a better life, and how that works together. It's going to translate itself into everything you say, every aspect of your practice. That's what a powerful USP will do. That's why you have to have a powerful USP. And you're great to hear, because you're right on track, Lenny. So why, how, what video script? So we created a script with an opening that starts with why, your belief statement. It includes your why, how, what. Goes to your targets, your avatars. It targets your avatar's hot buttons. It incorporates your message and your messaging and vision. It ends with an appropriate call to action, and it should be about 2 minutes, 2 minutes long. So here was your latest. I'll read it. I'll do it. I got the video camera on me right now. Hello, I'm Dr. Leonard. Leonard DePaolo. Yeah, DePaolo. You got to change your name, man. I can't even say it. Hello, I'm Dr. Leonard, and I believe that everyone wants to look better, be healthy, and live a better life. At Village Dental of New England, we believe in the possibility of a better, healthier you. We practice dentistry with compassion and integrity, and we are committed to helping you imagine and achieve the results that you've been looking for. At our dental office, we constantly strive to learn, integrate, and practice leading technologies to provide you with outstanding care and optimal results. In addition to serving your general dentistry needs, we focus on natural-looking restorative and reconstructive dentistry that we believe changes patients' life. We're committed to innovation, to understanding your individual needs, and to exceeding your expectations at all times. We have the ability to see the big picture and help you imagine the possibilities for your smile that you may not be able to see for yourself. No matter what your dental needs, you can count on our dedicated and compassionate team to be there with you every step of the way. We begin with a discovery interview to better understand your unique challenges, concerns, and goals. Together, we then create a treatment plan that works for you and enables you to have the smile that you envision. if you're ready for better health, or if you're ready for better teeth, better health, and a better life, call Village Dental of New England today. It's time for you. I couldn't read that. Don't delay the life that you deserve. Call the number on this page today. Thank you for watching. Perfect. Perfect. Try it out. Try it out with your team. See if there's any changes that you and your team think you might need to make, and we can always tweak it a little bit if you do. If you just went with this, it would be fine. The only thing I might change would be natural-looking restorative and reconstructive dentistry, just so you can talk in more 6th grade English, because I don't know if people know what restorative and reconstructive dentistry is. I don't even know what it is.
I changed it from something even more technical, believe it or not.
Less technical is better. More 6th grade is better, because your ideal client doesn't have a clue what that means. So the bigger words we use, the more varied definitions there might be. So I would go with the easiest, smallest words you can. I'm going to give you an example here in just a minute. I'm going to play my radio spot so you can hear this. Here we go right here. I'm going to show you, I hope this is going to work. I don't know if it works on this. Oh, crud. I'm going to play it right over here. And hopefully you can all hear this. I'm going to turn up my speaker. Here's an example of what it sounds like when you talk in smaller language and you use that formula that we did for your script.
At Sanchez Dental Associates, we believe that life is better with great teeth. We also know that there are so many people that are living below their potential. They are living a life of quiet desperation because of their teeth. They're embarrassed or they're in pain. They don't like to smile. They don't like to be social. They really aren't living. This usually happens because of fear, and it doesn't have to be that way. So our vision is to give these people their lives back. The way we do this is by providing a safe, pain-free experience that alleviates their stress and allows them to get the smile they've always wanted so they can be who they were meant to be. And that's what we do. I'm Dr. Gary Sanchez. If this sounds like your story, then give us a call at 268-2741 or visit us on the web at sanchezdental.com.
Were you able to hear that?
Yep.
So we can talk and it's funny because I even thought that great teeth was too big of a word, was left too much to be misunderstood. So our next radio spot was about great teeth. I'll play that for you real quick so you get to hear that.
Over the past year, you've heard us say that we believe that life is better with great teeth. So I thought some of you might be asking, what do you mean by great teeth? Hi, this is Dr. Gary Sanchez. Great teeth is a very personal thing. For some people, it's just being able to chew comfortably. For others, it's replacing missing teeth with something more permanent. And for many, it's being able to smile with confidence. If your teeth are holding you back from enjoying life the way you'd like to, then let's sit down and talk about it. Let's figure out what's best for you. We've designed our practice for those who have a lot of dental needs and may be fearful of going to the dentist. You don't have to be. Your first visit with us is a free, painless conversation so you can get to know us and decide if we're the right place for you. When you're ready, give us a call at 268-2741 or visit us on the web at sanchezdental.com. Sanchez Dental, because we believe that life is better with great teeth.
Were you able to hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so even great teeth might be thought of as, the simpler you can make it, and you've made it much simpler from where you started, and we have together. But that's how we keep it real simple and real basic so that you speak to the reticular activating system of your ideal client. They don't know anything about teeth. They don't know anything about what we're doing, reconstructive, and we talk in big words, but they don't know them. So that might be my only suggestion on there, is to change restorative and reconstructive, whatever it was. Make it simpler. Make sense? Yep. So homework is keep going. Paul, Michael, Lenny, keep going. Lenny, you've already got all this, but you guys craft your why, how, what messaging, get your USP, get your headlines, get your belief statements, and your hot button statements, and then start working on your why, how, what video script so that we can see those, because we want to be able to help you with that. Lastly, our live event, we are going to postpone it. I have heard from many of you that you wanted it postponed until 2013. So based on that, we didn't have as many people sign up because they wanted us to postpone it. So what we've decided is we are going to come up with an alternative. We decided in lieu of the live event in October, we would extend the opportunity, we would extend an opportunity for you to have a one-on-one personalized strategy session with one of our Y marketing specialists to review all of your 4D study club materials and help you understand the next steps specific to your practice to continue building your marketing strategy. So what we're going to do is set up a time for each one of you to spend an hour with one of our 4D marketing, or one of our Y marketing specialists, so they can see where you're at and help you plan for the future. It'll be really a great experience for you to be able to do that. All you have to do is email support@4ddentistry.com, and then we'll set up a time with one of our Y marketing specialists so that we can go through this process with you. It's going to be really, really good. And I'm sorry we're having to postpone the live event, but I think it'll work out better when more people can come. And we'll get that information to you as soon as we have that rescheduled. But for now, send us an email and we will set up the one-on-one personalized strategy session for you with our Y marketing specialist. Any questions at all? Let me get back to my questions. Do you want us to email these forms as we complete them? That would be fine, Paul. That would be totally fine. You can also hold on to them and set up this call with a Y marketing specialist and go through them all with him or her, because it'll be really valuable to have all that information. But definitely fill it out. Definitely keep them and send them to us when we need them for your interview with the Y marketing specialist. Any questions at all? I know I ran late. I'm sorry. We started a little bit late. We went about 8 minutes over. Anybody have anything they need to ask? Email us. We'll get this set up. You'll get all your questions answered. Got it, Paul? Thanks. Mike, I don't know where you're at. But wherever you're at, we'll move you forward. I know you had to be gone for a couple of weeks or something, but set up that time. Lenny, you don't need to because you're way past that. Lenny's on the fast track. Same thing for any of you. If you want to, yeah, here's our next meeting. If you want to get on that fast track that Lenny's on, just let us know and we'll work with you to do the same thing. Next meeting, Monday, September 17th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, everybody, great meeting. Thanks for participating, and I'll see you on the 17th.